Hey, greetings everybody from our home to yours. Today is the second Sunday in Lent, and our passage comes from Mark chapter 4, verses 26 through 29. And this is the passage of the story named The Growing Seed. It's one of those passages that we try to make it say one thing, but it really doesn't say that thing. And so it gets kind of tricky. The passage tells us that the kingdom of God is like a man that should scatter seeds along the ground. He sleeps and he rises. He knows not how, but the earth produces itself, first the blade, then the ear, then the full grain in the ear. But when the grain is ripe, at once he puts in the sickle, and the harvest has come. So we like to say that this story is about evangelism. And that's okay, that's not too bad. But if we use that meaning, then we miss the true meaning of the story. The meaning of the story is not that we humans should evangelize the world by scattering seeds along the ground. The point is that the kingdom of heaven is like the man who planted the seeds, and then the seeds grow without any help of the man at all. The farmer sows his seed, and then he lives his life. He gets up day after day. He lives his life. He goes to bed, gets up, lives his life day after day. He goes to bed, gets up, lives his life day after day. The seed that is the kingdom sprouts and grows in a way that the farmer knows nothing about. And in the Greek, Jesus is stating that this process of the kingdom takes place pretty much automatically, meaning perhaps that we just put the kingdom into the world, in any kind of world, a world full of sinners and religious leaders, a world full of deadbeats, thieves, murderers, and the kingdom itself will grow. It will come up, it will rise, and it will be the perfect kingdom of God. For me, this is rather refreshing and liberating. It's kind of like when the boss hands out tasks to get done and problems to look into, things to research, and you go down the list to see what part you have to do, what part you have to give somebody else to do, what part is even part of your section, or does it belong to another section or another team. And for me, I kind of go down the list, and as I'm maybe delegating to who's going to do it or if I'm going to do it, I have little codes and initials that I use, and it works pretty good. And so one day I passed out this tasking, this list of things that had to get done, and one of the new members of the team is going down the list and it says something like, hey, who is NMP? And I said, not my problem. And they go, no, really, who's NMP? I don't understand those initials, or I don't know whose initials those are. And I said, it's not my problem. And they were getting a little frustrated, and they're looking at me like, come on, man, just help me out. And they go, who is NMP? And I said, not my problem. They go, well, it may not be your problem, but it's my problem because we got to get this done, or we're going to fail. And I'm like, it's not my problem. And by this time I'm smiling, almost laughing. Everybody else is kind of chuckling. And I said, they're getting frustrated. They're like, look, I got to know who is NMP. And I said, okay, look, N is not, M is my, and P stands for problem. So NMP is not my problem. And they're like, oh. And I should have probably just told them right from the front, that it's an acronym and what it stood for, but I was just having too much fun, messing with them. But that's kind of like the way the kingdom of heaven is. I don't have to worry or stress about if I'm doing enough for the kingdom of heaven. God's kingdom is going to grow. It's going to grow as fast as he wants it to, as perfect as God's kingdom will, in any environment that he wants it to grow in. His kingdom is going to grow, and it's ready to be harvested. It will be harvested. So it's not my problem. I don't have to worry if World War III is happening. I don't have to worry if everything that's happening is a sign of the end times. I don't have to worry about the things that are happening because it's not my problem. And maybe we can take Jesus' story, this parable that he's given us, and put it to use. The kingdom of God is going to grow. Whether we like it or not, it's going to grow where he wants it to grow and how he wants it to grow, with or without us. So it's not our problem. So maybe this week we can turn off the TV do something fun, hang out with friends and family, and stop worrying about the news, because it's not my problem. God bless you. Grace and peace to you. Have a great week.